Hey everybody, welcome back to
Nat 2
episode.
Alright, let's take it again. 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Nat 2. Where it's just the two of us.
Naturally.
Wow.
We're somewhere else.
Yeah. I moved.
Yep.
And now me and Monica are roommates.
Hey, look at that.
Ayo.
We're We're in the room, mate. Right now.
Department. What?
No, I mean like we're in the room, in the roommate in which you are mating in your room. So we're recording where we live at. Yeah.
Which is wild. Now we get a fun new experience of seeing if there's other sundry bad noises. Yeah. You guys don't understand the struggle of being like, I love you. I've always loved you. I was gonna say ambulance, but the funkiest ambulance in town. Leave that in the podcast. We're far away from the street, so there's an airplane.
We're not far away from the sky.
The sky is all around.
Airplanes are lawless creatures that go where they desire.
Yeah, we're far away from the street, so I don't have to contend with editing in between frickin' cars driving past.
It's an apartment building, so there's not like dogs up plenty.
Yeah.
Golly gee willikers. Everyone...
I know.
You lived in dog country.
I did, and I lived in dog country where nobody stopped their dog from barking ever. Yeah. Also, we won't have to wait for folks to finish mowing their lawns.
Yeah. Ain't no lawns, baby.
Ain't no lawns, ain't no power tools going on.
Concrete jungle. Yeah, as long as you record on the weekends.
Yeah, which we do.
You record on the weekdays, and everyone is having their entire everything redone.
Yeah.
The first day I was here after we moved here.
Monica moved here before
me having moved here, not Shay being here. They were redoing the siding on the
I remember
apartment.
that.
Yeah, and they were. I don't know if you know this about moving, but it can be a little stressful. And we had just finished. It had taken us 3 weeks. And I spent an entire 12-hour day driving many, many objects from our old house to our new house while my mom did deep breathing exercises and tried to run an estate sale. And basically what ended up happening is our stuff got freaking cribbed as heck. So that was lots of fun. It literally, multiple days of doing that, was all I did was move. And the first day we're here, I wake up to 9 a.m. to the sound of someone drilling into my human skull. And they were replacing the siding on our unit, literally only. It was literally only our unit. It was the loudest sound. And I woke up, and it was literally there's my head, and then a wall, and then a drill. I don't know what tools one uses. So it's about as loud as you can imagine. And I woke up with such peace in my heart. I was like, okay, I guess... this is where we are. That's fine. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. And then I hung out. Just sat there and listened to them do it. And I was like, okay, I've reached a state of,
euphoria,
acceptance, where the fact that my eardrums are disintegrating it's part of it,
It's part of it.
Part of the experience. And I was just like, man, is this how this gonna be? What if we spent some 12-hour days hauling everything back to the place we came from? And then it's not.
Which, it's been pretty chill.
Weekdays are hit or miss. Weekends are
supreme.
For the boys.
For the boys.
If anybody wants to donate however much money to our Venmo account, which I don't have one, for us to get mic stands, I know, we're voice only, face reveal never type situation. Well,
maybe
we'll see how we'll feel it out. We'll test the waters. Some of you know who we are.
Yeah.
Hello there.
Hi.
You know what I look like. We're for sure at some point. We haven't even put this out into the world yet.
Which actually, this is so funny. It's episode 31, and we are very close to actually starting to release episodes.
Into the Wild.
Yeah. I've been making a ton of art for it. All of the art that is on our account so far, that will be on our account so far, I've made, and I'm like trying to make little backgrounds for YouTube so that there's at least something interesting and not just, our voices, which hopefully that's interesting.
Semi. Yeah, we've been teaching him how to fly. We've been feeding him with like a glove that resembles a bird head.
What?
Yeah, and then they're ready to be released into the wild.
Oh, I see.
And they have retained their fear of humans.
Yeah.
We've made sure of that, and hopefully they will succeed.
Hopefully.
They will find a lovely male with one of those really sexy ankle bracelets, and they will skew the population in favor of males with ankle bracelets. Have you heard about that? When they like give male birds or whatever like anklets.
Oh yeah, I have heard about that.
Yeah.
Females are like, oh, that's cool.
What's that? Your horny female bird voice is very good. Oh, that's cool. And then they get the males don't even have to like get down with it. They just show it off. And
yeah,
the ladies
stick their little egg out.
The ladies just like have an egg.
Pre-fertilized.
I have a baby with my own self. I'm so turned on. Yeah. And back to what I was gonna say though. We haven't recorded. We're gonna release soon. Oh, we really should post on the Instagram a picture of our setup so that y'all can see
how ratchet and unprofessional it is.
Yeah, we have.
If you can't already tell from everything.
Mic stands is what I was gonna say. If you could Venmo us some cash for some, because we have none of that.
Yeah, poor.
All we have is a story.
We do. In our imaginations.
In our little hearts.
In our little voices.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's enough. Anyways, ready for a recap?
Hit it, Shay. You know what happened.
Oh, goodness.
You got it, buddy.
I gotta say, the last time we recorded, because I had to move, is 3 weeks ago.
You're right. Yeah, a lot went down. I have spent the last 3 weeks only narcissistically listening to the section of episode 30 with Etheod and Lucian talking about Etheod saying, my features are rare and desirable, and me trying to stay in character while Monica cracked up at what are you talking about. Yeah, anyways, what happened?
Well, first we get a little section of Vahrae and Farniel, and Vahrae invites Farniel to meet Yusufi, and they sneak into Vahrae's house, and they have a little drawn time where Yusufi draws a picture of Vahrae and Farniel kissing and holding hands.
Which Farniel then asks for dutifully, because he has been asked to.
And then freaking Vahrae took it and put it above his roommate's bed and then gave him shit for it for funsies. And then decided to just keep it above his bed. Because who's going to mess with him? Nobody. And then we go to the boys in the basement. And we have some serious talks where Etheod and Fingers duke it out a little bit. And we find out some really intense information about Fingers.
We do.
In which then makes Etheod try to leave again. A little flighty guy, a little flighty kid.
Little flighty guy.
And then Lucian convinces him to stay. Fingers calms down. They talk about how they're going to get to Yandori Tel Talenti, which involves getting out, obviously, of town, but perhaps a carriage, 16 horses. Just kidding.
Just kidding. I think nothing.
Okay.
And then they start making their way. Fingers comes across the final tiefling that had gotten away within the tunnels. And then they find out more information about why they want Etheod to come back. And it's something to do with his parents being traitors, and that Etheod has to be put on trial for his participation in their crimes. Which he obviously is like, cool, I don't know nothing about that. And then Fingers kills that tiefling, and him and Etheod and Lucian hide the body so that the kids don't see it. And then they continue on their way. Conversations happen, and then they come across a new character named Douglas Finch Green. Douglas Finch Queen.
Douglas Finch Queen. My mom said wug today instead of rug, and I was like, you know who you sound like? And she was like, who? Douglas Finch Queen. And
Douglas
then she
Finch Queen.
cracked up. She quacked up.
Quacked up.
Like a duck.
And I was struggling the whole time with his little voice, having to do a speech impediment while also sounding American when all of your characters don't sound the way, except for Averson, but Averson's a bit different.
She sounds specific, though.
Yeah.
She doesn't sound like...
You would think because I'm American and speak an American accent, I would be able to do that. I think because I was trying to imitate a New York accent as well, which I completely failed on, because doing a New York accent while also having a speech impediment on your R's is hard.
Yeah, I feel like also you're like, oh, D&D. British, you know?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm playing D&D. Okay, cool. Absolutely, definitely not Shay's voice.
Yeah.
Which I get to not have this problem because of Fingers and his mom.
Yeah. But they met him, and he said that his parents have a tavern that they could stay at, and he was trying to convince them to let him go with them on an adventure, but he needs to get permission from his parents because he's a good little 10-year-old boy. And so they talked about that for a little bit, and then they decided that they're going to keep going, and if they run into them either while they're going back home or if they come across the tavern, which is called the Little Daisy, they would see if they would let them stay there for the night.
Yeah, and then Finch was like, bye!
Yeah.
I was not, you were just like, actually, I'm leaving now, and then you left, and everyone was just like, okay.
Yeah, well,
no preamble to that at all.
They were like, there was something with a door, and he was like, where does that lead to?
Yeah.
And they're like, the cobbler, and he was like calculating in his brain where he is, and he's like, they're right above me. And he goes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, his parents?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were just like, I'm leaving.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. And everyone goes, okay, goodbye.
And then we get another little snippet of Vahrae and Farniel, a little friendship snippet, little friendship sleepy time together snippet, and sadness because he's like, he used to sleep with my brother who's dead now. I haven't been sleeping well since then. And you're like, okay.
We can sleep together. Below a picture of us holding hands to kiss.
And that's it.
So, Finch goes.
Mm-hmm.
And the adults, scare quotes, consisting of Lucian, who's an adult, Meredith, who is absolutely an adult, Fingers, who is physically an adult, and Etheod, who is...
None of the above.
Physically not an adult and also mentally. Decide to kind of basically go with Lucian's plan, which is to... They'll overtake us if this is all real and this actually happened. Mm-hmm. And we'll meet up later and see, explain the situation, see what happens, that sort of thing. Everyone decides that that's basically sure thing, especially because Homeboy just vamoosed up a wall as a rat. And turn away from that and go to kind of make their way further through the tunnel. Them and the 12 kids. Is there anything that Etheod wants to kind of do right now?
Lucian.
What was that?
You said that he was a druid?
Yeah, mate.
Can you explain? I I cannot make potions. I don't know how to do that. So that is already not within
Look, mate,
my...
I know.
Let me finish.
What?
I have 2 questions. It's not just one that you think I'm going to ask.
By all means, don't let me answer the first one.
Well, I haven't even asked it yet. Have I?
All right. Keep talking. He's like gathering his wits.
I cannot make potions. I don't know how to do that, and it is, you know, a miracle that they work. To me, because I am incompetent. I don't know, but being able to turn into a rat without a potion, that surely cannot happen.
I've got to say, mate, as I was about to say before you insisted
Well,
upon asking questions I can't answer, I really, this is not my wheelhouse, mate.
You don't know at all? I mean, because, I don't know, you say that you're a doctor. That seems like that is some kind of, what is it called? Transmutation? Is that what it is called?
Well, it's different, innit?
I don't know.
Well, I can tell you that it's different. It's not just, potion. It does, it's so, alright. Let me explain. And he's like, you're kind of doing that. Everybody starts kind of walking off in the direction that you were going in the first place. And Lucian's kind of like got his hands in front of him. He's like looking at something that isn't there because he's like trying to explain it. He's like, a potion really, all it's going to do is sort of enhance your body's natural like healing properties. So that's why you want to, as much as you possibly can, give it early. Like if somebody hurts themselves, you give it the moment that they arrive, so that your body hasn't had time to, it's all still viable. Right. So it's not like you're changing into something else. It's something your body was already going to do. It's just sort of giving it a bit of a kick in the pants, I guess.
Well, but I've heard of potions that, like Yezi had us use a potion that people, couldn't see us. How does that... I don't understand that at all.
Well, it's sort of different. I mean, most of what I have is the first sort of thing. Like, anything that's going to heal you, it's really just doing that. It's not like changing you into something else. It's not like changing you into a version of you before you were hurt or something. You're still hurt. It's just after. Something like that will make you invisible or something. It's doing something to temporarily alter your cells, your genetic makeup, to change the parts of you.
So, but that kid or whatever can just do that on the command?
Yeah.
Is that just something that you can learn? Or is that something that he is like a special kind of race?
I think, no, he's a human, innit? It looks like a human at least.
Yeah.
It's sort of, I think, a combination of those of two. It's not like racial specific, to my knowledge at least. But I think it's sort of you show an aptitude to it. I imagine the way that you show an aptitude to it is your mum comes in one day to feed you, and your cat. I don't know, mate. Really, it's quite rare. So it's not something I've had to learn. I can't pack in every single piece of information in my brain, mate.
Oh, because I'm asking you to do that. That's absolutely what I'm asking you to do.
You're not asking me to do it. You're just asking me. I've told you I don't
I'm
know,
sorry
mate.
that I'm asking questions.
Okay, so the thing about here, and Fingers is gonna kind of like turn towards you and be like, I know that we've been like kind of cutting up and having a good old time before it now, but the thing about where we're at, and he's like kind of like gestures to there's like a bend that you guys are about to go around, and you can see that the stone, kind of like cobblestone before it was just cobblestone, every once in a while, there's like a door or like a slit in the wall that you could sneak through, that sort of thing. the stone is changing into, it's got kind of like signs on it that would be,
what did they say?
Something that, roll an insight as Etheod.
Okay. 18.
Something that Etheod could imagine from his like onboarding.
Yeah. The brief onboarding.
The brief onboarding is something that means something to members of the Thieves Guild.
Okay.
Yeah, so like,
but he doesn't know because he didn't learn that.
Yeah,
yet.
exactly. Okay. It's like thieves can't dialect specific to the Waypoint Town Thieves Guild type of situation. And so they're like elaborate like signs. They look very like kind of runic.
Okay.
And then every once in a while, it's like a very descriptive drawing of like a guy hitting someone over the back of the head with like a chair. And you're like, okay, probably this is a violent place in this direction.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of thing. Like, they're like, we didn't come up with signs for this yet, so this is what'll happen.
Yeah,
you know, that
like
sort of
a
thing.
chemical alert.
Yeah, it'll eventually, like, kanji from tortoise shells, if you know, and bones and stuff, becomes, like, some, like, stylized drawing.
Yeah.
Anyway, and Fingers is kind of, like, pushing your eyeballs in that direction. He's like, so, but now we gotta kind of focus up a little bit now, cause and he's kind of pulling everybody over to the side. And he's like, so we're gonna go past the Thieves Guild. It's the only way. It all connects that way. If you're going out the way that we have to go out is closest to the Talenti Castle, we're gonna go basically right past it. So,
okay. I had another question, but fine.
Okay, is there a way it could wait?
Yeah.
Right, well, we've got stories, don't we?
Do we?
Well, you're not paying attention, mate.
I have a lot going on.
All right, Lucian, come on, yeah. The story is that...
oh, right.
Okay, you do remember.
Is it that we are visiting you and then got attacked and so now we have to leave?
I knew it was in there somewhere. Anyway, you kids are all visiting, you know, you all grew up here and then something happened and we're just escaping and that's it. All right.
Should we like Tavamil? No, I don't remember. Tavamil came up with the names. I don't know who suggested it. But should we?
Names pissing you. What's Meredith? Can you name us? We look like some of us look like humans. Fingers and Lucian look like humans.
Yeah, I look like a drow elf.
You look like a drow elf, and Meredith is gonna be like, all right, Lucian. Your name is Ralph.
What an awful
Ralph.
sounding
Is
name.
that a name, really? Sounds like a sound you make when you throw up. Ralph. Oh, it's funny you say that. Actually, it means that, like, kind of slang. But anyway, what? Yeah. Anyway, Fingers.
Yourself, you're saying your own name. Etheod is.
Misha's gonna be Dave. I think that's what we did last time. Yeah, it was Dave. Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh no. Never mind. Is Squindipliosis not coming to light? Not going to live?
Roll an insight check on Fingers' expression.
He knows. I think. He didn't say the first name. 13.
Fingers looks worried that you're about to say the whole name.
Yeah.
Like, that would be bad.
I think that Etheod, like, taps his finger on his thigh. Like, it doesn't make noise, but the, like looking at it and counting it out, it says, like, don't worry.
Alright. Fingers. Perception. Fingers continues to look concerned.
Okay.
And is like, Dave, I think that's good. And Etheod, you're gonna be
Well, the name that I usually use is Lemmet.
Lemon? What?
Lemmet.
What?
I
Limit? Lemmet?
Lemmet.
Lemmet?
I don't know how to spell it.
I could probably come up with a spelling for that.
My eyes I cannot change, so I had to choose a race that kind of has similar thing
Oh,
going
well,
on.
I mean, I think that makes sense.
But yeah, and so I found a book, and they had, it was like a baby name book, and I chose the first one. It might be a girl name. I really don't know.
I don't think that there's enough drow elves around here that it would be a big deal.
Well, that's good.
All right, well, I'm Ralph. Good lord, what was it the first time? Something awful. Alistair, something like that. I prefer Ralph, frankly.
Alistair sounds cool.
No, it doesn't. It's almost as bad as Lucian.
I think Lucian sounds cool.
Right.
Which it should, because you're...
All right, mate.
Why
Again,
are you so
with the-
sensitive?
He's gonna, like, wink at you. I'm Ralph. Etheod is Limit.
Mm-hmm.
Meredith is Meredith. And Fingers is, Dave. Yeah. All right. So, just follow my lead and don't look too comfortable, Etheod.
What?
Like with, we gotta look a little stupid.
Why do I...
We can't look too good at sneaking around. You know, we can't look like we gotta look, you know what I mean, Etheod?
Can I tell you something?
No. Yeah, what?
I have not had a single day of training.
Well, yeah, I forget that. Anyway, so I'm gonna look bumbling.
Okay.
You just keep doing what you're doing. I guess. All right. The rest of you, I'm not worried about. All right, let's go. And so everybody's gonna roll performance.
Okay. 19. Can I give Fingers the help action?
Yeah.
Cool. He gets to roll with advantage. Is that a nat 20?
So this is what this is what happens. You all in your party, Meredith kind of has like the kids in tow, and she's like, they keep being like, "Mommy, is Mish gonna?" And she's like, "Dave, yeah, Dave's gonna," that type of thing. And she's like, I know. Let's sing a little song that'll make you all talk the same words that I'm saying and not different words that I can't and control. And so they're singing like, the tunnels. We're in the tunnels. Yeah, that like sort of thing. Like 99 bottles of milk on the wall. If only Finch was here.
99 flasks of milk on the wall. 99 flasks of milk.
Finch is heaven. And she's like getting them all to like, or she's like a game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking of a letter between A and Z. I don't know. That sort of thing. And Lucian, what did you say?
S.
Don't say that sort of thing to me.
What?
Lucian is like kind of like chuckling a little bit too, like looking back, and as you're walking in that direction, you see as you turn, when you go around the corner, the first thing that Etheod sees is, because it's going Fingers, Etheod, Lucian, Meredith, Sana, and Leela, etc.
Yeah.
Neeleth is back with the kids' crew now, because we all have to be with it.
Yeah.
You see a thief in Thieves Guild uniform going around the corner.
Uh-huh.
And you see when that happens, Fingers open his mouth. What do you do?
What, oh, to make him shut up?
Because you have clocked at least that he's going to say something at all. What do you do to make sure that he continues being innocuous and bumbling?
He sticks out his leg and trips him.
Okay, cool. So Fingers opens his mouth. The thief kind of walks past and like kind of like looks a little bit like he's acknowledged that someone has turned to address him.
Yeah.
And you stick your leg out, and Fingers fully like hooks his whole foot underneath it and like stumbles to catch himself. And he's like, "Man, what?"
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Yeah. That's okay. Let's keep going. And like keeps walking. What happened was Fingers rolled a nat 1. And then you gave him the help action.
Baby!
And he rolled a nat 20. Good God. So you saved your boy's life.
He'd just be like, "Oh, hey, Bartholomew."
Yeah, hey, it's me. I was just wondering if whatever. And so Fingers, when he kind of like recovers and realizes that he was about to do some stupid behavior, he kind of like shakes his head like head in the game, whatever.
Yeah.
And Lucy's like, "You're right, mate." He's like, yeah. I'm just let's keep going. He keeps walking around. And this tunnel has gone from being relatively narrow, it's kind of widening, and you're seeing kind of general life around you. Anything you want to do, say, whatever?
I don't think so. I think that's, now that he's like, okay, I have to act whatever the heck.
Yeah.
I'm going to kind of stay quiet.
Mm-hmm.
The less I say, the less chance there is that I'm going to fuck something up.
Yeah, cool. So you keep walking in that direction, and you just see, Thieves Guild uniforms. You can feel kind of like coming off of everyone, but especially Fingers, like a general tenseness. Because if someone is gonna get clocked by the Thieves Guild, someone, at least at some point, the Thieves Guild was looking for Fingers too. So it's not even just, Fingers, Thieves Guild in disguise.
Yeah.
It's Fingers, the guy we're looking for.
Yeah.
And then to a lesser extent, you, just because you were there.
Yeah, I think that Etheod is oddly enough not that tense about it. I think that he's like, I feel pretty relaxed. Because I think he's like, oh, the Thieves Guild finding me? That's fine.
Yeah.
I have bigger
Maybe they will
problems.
protect me from the Othazar clan. So you're walking down this tunnel, all of you together. And as you all are walking in that direction, kind of like across this more like major confluence, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okay.
As Etheod.
12.
You notice that there are two thieves kind of in like the other side of the way.
Okay.
That are having a conversation in like hushed tones and looking kind of generally like stealing a glance in your direction.
Okay.
And when you kind of see that, you feel Lucian, you can hear him kind of moving behind you.
Okay. He's gonna like positioning himself behind me?
No, not like he's you can just hear, basically you have no whatever. You can roll a perception.
Gonna look behind him.
Okay, yeah.
Look at Lucian.
You can see Fingers is just kind of like maintaining his cadence in front of you.
Yeah.
Lucian is going to kind of you see him turn around and say something to Meredith.
Are you alright?
And what she goes,
yeah, whatever.
Alright.
I mean, like, it's their tunnels. A bunch of kids and some weird-looking folks. It's interesting to see.
I heard them say something about the orphanage.
Well, that is wherever he happened to came from.
Alright, mate. And you kind of go past them.
Yeah.
And they're still kind of talking to each other and like stealing glances.
Etheod's gonna look at them and wave.
Oh?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, I think that he's like, play it cash. Obviously, we could tell that you're looking at us. You're not being whatever about it. I think it's gonna be like a shy wave. Like, not a confident one, but it's just gonna be like a, like, little tiny wave.
And when you do your little tiny wave, you can see that they both kind of like shudder a little bit. Like, they're like, oh, cool. We're being not that stealthy as we thought. And one of them kind of waves back, and like a shy wave back, and the other one grabs his hand and like slaps it down, and starts walking towards your direction.
Okay. Cool. Just gonna keep going forward.
Yep. So everybody's walking in that direction, and they're walking kind of up behind, like at the back of the pack, like they are going to. Are you looking in that direction, like over your shoulder, or are you like walking forward?
I think that he's kind of like, he takes one glance to be like, oh, okay, they're behind us, and then keeps going forward.
Okay, cool. So you keep walking forward, you walk in that direction, and then you hear someone behind you go, excuse me, ma'am. I guess this is what this guy's gonna sound like. And you hear Meredith roll a perception check, or performance check. And she kind of goes like, yeah, what is it, sweetheart? You hear the guy go, I was just wondering if you knew where Fingers was. Well, he hasn't come back to his room. Oh, you know, kiddo, I've been wondering that myself, and I've been worried sick. So if you find him, could you send him my way too? Well, you see, the thing is, we thought that there was a chance that he went back your way. You sure you've not seen him?
I think that Etheod turns around and he's like, you know, looking at him and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he says like, Vahrae, is he like late for something? Like a job or something?
No, it's just we look after the kid and we want to make sure he's all right.
The what? You look after the what?
The kid.
Oh, the kid. Sorry, you're a little hard to understand.
Right. Anyway, I just, I guess if you don't know, we don't know, mate.
Yeah, but actually, if you find him, don't send him to the orphanage. It, we have to leave there.
Oh, I know about all that, mate.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, I'll walk past it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he wouldn't be there, would he?
I hope not. I hope nobody is there.
Well, you'll be safe now.
You too.
Yeah. Meredith is going to kind of like nod, kind of like warmly at him, mm-hmm. and they're going to keep walking off in the direction, like walking back where they were. And you go ahead and roll a perception check.
10.
You can kind of hear as he walks away, him saying to the other one and be like, she didn't know anything. Like that sort of thing, like walking off in that direction. And Fingers was like at the front of the pack, kind of like crossing his arms and leaning back behind you. Uh-huh. So he was less like evidently there. Yeah. And he was like, okay, we'll just keep going then. And like walks off in that direction.
People suspect you less if you interact with them like there's nothing wrong.
I'm not good at that
I know,
sort of
but
thing.
That's why I'm doing it for you.
Well, thanks. My bad. He's gonna like kind of keep like doing whatever, walking off in that direction. Meredith and Lucian are kind of following, and you kind of keep seeing folks in that way, like kind of looking around, looking at you, and you can see that it's clear that Meredith is noteworthy.
Yeah.
And it's clear that, it would be like so many kids walking through the tunnels of what's going on. But go ahead and roll like an insight check on the whole panoply of human emotion.
Unnatural 20.
You get the sense that it is common knowledge now that something happened at the orphanage. Okay. Like good news travels fast type situation. And it also appears to be sort of common that everyone is clocking all of your existence, but giving you a wide berth for whatever reason. I mean, Etheod could maybe put together that the threat of the Assassin's Guild doing whatever to them if they messed with you guys or her is still sort of like tentatively there.
Yeah.
But tentatively there because you were approached.
Yeah.
So the chances of someone being like, what if I just, kidnap one of these kids as ransom? You know what I mean? That sort of thing. They kind of look like, a dog that is very well trained and then you starve it and hang some meat in front of it. It's kind of going like, maybe it would be fine. You know what I mean? Yeah. Everyone's just kind of like, what is the law now that we should be? Whatever. And so you kind of get the sense that is going on. And you can tell even from like your position that Lucian behind you is so uncomfortable, like hackles up, just like
I think that Etheod slows down a little bit to like match pace with Lucian. And I think that he's just like, he looks up at him. He's like, well, I guess he looks down at him because he's taller than him. And he's just like, the world is really scary, and I get that. But,
you little...
What? Listen. The world is terrifying.
And you're trying to make me relax.
No, shut up. Let me say some words. You're so ready to interrupt people.
Talk, mate.
I'm trying. The world is scary. It is. But if people know that you're scared, in my experience, they prey on that.
I'm not scared.
Well, you look it.
I'm not scared of... He's going to kind of like look around and like sidle up next to you. He's going to kind of give you like a look. Like a meaningful look.
I'll roll insight.
Okay.
19.
It's kind of like a look of resignation. Like a look of... He's resigned to accepting something that he absolutely every part of him is screaming to not accept as being potentially necessary. And he's going to say, fucking help it. I'd rather not have to kill any more people. That's all.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not scared, mate.
Okay. I am.
You've got no reason to be.
Do I not?
You do not.
Oh, that's comforting. Yeah, I don't want to kill.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Sorry.
He's gonna, like, kind of go to put his hand on your shoulder and remember that you're not about that life, and kind of just like it's like so you don't even roll for it. It's so evident that that's what he was gonna do, and then it's like waves past you for no reason, and he's like,
I just
Etheod.
Yeah.
Just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the way that I look.
I was just going to, like, maybe give you advice, and then, no. I know that I know that it takes a lot of patience, but I have a problem with when I am nervous. Mostly, I stutter a lot, and I don't know that it can be whatever, but I'm fine. I know it really sounds like I'm not, but I am.
I think it's funny that you choose to let us all know that.
Or is it obvious? I guess I'm saying that because I don't know. I was trying to ask you questions, and then you would answer before I could get it out, and that's why I was mad.
I'm sorry.
It's
I really am.
fine. Why am I telling you this?
Sometimes you got to hit me over the head with it, mate.
Hit you over the head?
Yeah, make it obvious.
Oh.
I'm quite thick sometimes, so... Apologise. He's gonna, like... You can see him, if you will, defrost a little bit. And be, like, more kind of like... Him, so, like, relaxed. Like, he's not just, like, walking, like, what he thinks a human should walk like. That sort of thing. And, I'm gonna roll something real quick. You are getting so incredibly lucky. Anyway, just want you to know that. You are just kind of moving in that direction. And,
Hey, can you, like, forget that I told you that was really weirdly vulnerable for me, and I would like that to not be real?
What are you talking about, mate? I'm telling everybody.
No.
Hey, Meredith.
No, shut up.
He doesn't even turn around or whatever. And you kind of keep walking. You can go ahead and roll a perception check.
13.
You get the sense that Fingers in front of you was kind of shaken by the conversation with like the thieves approaching or whatever. Maybe something that he didn't expect to happen. So when he like goes back into step, you keep walking the direction, you can see that he's a little more like about it. Like it's a little more obvious that he is trying to he has rolled a performance check, like that sort of thing. Meredith is still very like, no, this kid, she's pretty focused on the task at hand, and she's pretty, good about that sort of thing, but you can tell Fingers is kind of like, I'm just a guy. I'm just a regular guy, that. Are you going to do anything about it?
No, because I think that Etheod's like, I just tried to do something about this, and it fucked me up, so.
It's so funny because it worked.
Oh,
Like he relaxed some, and you're just like, but I was hurt by it, so.
But no, his anxiousness was transferred onto me.
No, I'm anxious. So you keep kind of going in that direction. And then all of a sudden, Fingers takes like a hard right and like kind of like sidesteps around somebody. And when he does that, it bounced to a nat 1 to a 13 to a nat 1 to a 13. You see Fingers open his mouth to say something to like in general, and then you go ahead and roll a perception check.
14.
You clock that he is kind of sidestepping someone who is like legs splayed out in the tunnel, like hail status, but different. And he has like a brown jug that has XXX written on it, like that sort of thing. And Fingers opens his mouth to like presumably apologize or something, and just goes like open shut and just like keeps walking around, and the guy goes, you guys, if you step on a guy, you should apologize.
Sorry.
You him?
Yep.
Okay. And like Lucian is not like super paying attention and just kind of like follows where like the like you guys kind of making a U, and just kind of like nods at the guy and keeps walking. And Meredith is like goes up to him. It's like walking around, and she's just like, "Oh, is that you? Give me a name. Good Lord.
What race?
Eldrin.
Manon.
Oh, is that you, Manon? We were talking about this. You told me you weren't gonna do this anymore." She like stops the kids behind her. You see Sana and Leela like look at each other and look back at her. He's like, "Oh, is Miss Meredith? Oh, fell into a bucket full of Jin, I'm here now. All right, man, and well, you gotta we talked about your goals, your goals, right? We talked about all that, and you gotta not, fall. This is not a good path to be on. No. Where's the kid at? This one. Is he one of those, like, points in the direction of you three? And Meredith, she's like, oh, no, he's, I don't know where he is. That kid always going around all over the place. Anyway, I was looking for him. He's you? He's one of you? Yeah, that's Laminate. He's, Do you laugh?
I think a little bit.
Friggin'. The guy looks up at you, kind of raises an eyebrow at you laughing, and just, like, opens his mouth and rips the sickest burp you've ever heard. And Meredith goes, excuse me, and, like, looks at the kids, like, being like, and she's like, he's just, one of the kids. He's just, tall now, and anyway, the High Elves, you say? And she's kind of, like, she kind of looks at you guys to be like, is this a line of inquiry that I should follow? That sort of thing.
And I think Etheod, like, shakes his head yes a little bit.
Yeah, Fingers is kind of, like, looking around him to be like, no, is anybody else?
Yeah.
And Lucian is just standing there with his arms crossed, trying not to look eager. Like, trying not to be like, what the heck is she about to say? That sort of thing. Or what is he about to say? He's Hiles. That's where we got to find him. He was there, So you go pay yourself some money. There's another one. I don't know, but they're both the same. Right. So what you said that they were both in the same place? What do you mean? This was the blue guy is in the flyers. Is they're all together. I was looking for them. So we gotta find them, split all the money they give us. So
you guys spent the money that they gave you.
We're gonna split it, you little purple twat. And he, like, spits in your direction.
I think Etheod spits back.
I'd like to cut your jib. He, like, high fives your pant leg. Like, he reaches to, like, touch your pants or whatever. He didn't say twat. He said
rat.
Dag nabbit. Rat's better. He said rat, right, Sana and Leela? Yeah. Anyway, I'm just personally interested, since it is my kid that we're talking about. What do they want him for? Just they're gonna have, like, a tea party or something? This is gonna they want to secure the blue one. So I think, if you were to ask me, which you are, I would kill them all, I think. So if you find him, you could tell us, and then we can make lots of money. And he would die, but, he's one of them devils in it, so it's not. Alright, it was nice to see you. Gotta get off the juice, huh? And we'll be on our way. She goes through every facial expression, like a mixture of, like, cool. So now we know that we for sure should get the heck out of here. And also, man, I should have quit while I was ahead, that sort of thing. And it's just kind of like walking, starts like being like nod his head and start walking in that direction. And is there anything you want to say or do or anything before you keep going?
Are these like sewer systems kind of where there's like water flowing through them?
Yeah, okay. In the Japanese subway, sometimes there will be like on each end a little kind of like water. It's not obviously for sewage.
Yeah.
But it's for water, so it's not go down the thing and pool wherever. I don't know what they're for. I imagine it's for that. That's going on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then never mind. I was gonna have Etheod kick some water at him and then leave.
Well, you could still kick water at him. It just wouldn't be dookie water.
Yeah, okay, yeah. He's gonna do that.
You're just like one of them devils.
At least I'm not a drunken mess.
Yeah. And then you guys keep walking. It's a kick every object. So Meredith is kind of like looks at Sana and Leela, and Sana and Leela like look at each other and then look at the kids, and then she kind of just goes and like starts. You're kind of behind the pack.
Yeah.
She starts. Meredith starts walking in your direction, and she's gonna kind of walk near you and be like, "I'm sorry about that."
What? Oh. That is the least. I don't care.
Right.
It's fine. I think that I don't care what anyone calls me. Because well, I think the overlooming fact that I'm wanted dead is a bit more within the front of my mind.
Right. Try and keep it down a little bit, huh?
Oh. Okay.
I just mean that we're gonna stick together.
Yeah. Was that ever going to change?
No. Maybe it'll take a while to be alright, but it will be.
Okay.
She like shrugs her shoulders like, I'm trying so hard, every trick in a book, and it's not working. And she's gonna kind of like shrug her shoulders and like walk like back to the kids kind of area. And you see as you kind of walk in that direction, Lucian has his hand on Fingers' shoulder, and he's like kind of like messing with his face. Like Fingers is messing with his own face. Like he's just like hand on his like forehead.
Yeah.
To presumably deal with that cool things that keep happening. And as you keep walking, after that kind of interaction taking an amount of time, it's kind of like you could see everyone's in your party, other than Fingers, who was kind of just generally looking around, his attention was directed towards that conversation. And kind of when you go back to walking in your direction, you see folks kind of like, you know, they start like looking, pretending to be like, oh, whatever, I wasn't paying it, you know.
Yeah.
Like just, it's not like the walls are lined with thieves, but they'll kind of like be like, oh, wonder if I should do something about that, you know, like that sort of thing. And so they saw that and they're like, okay, keep walking, that kind of deal.
Like they saw the conversation occur?
Yeah, okay. And you stopped, everyone's attention is on the conversation, and so they're just like, what if I just approached? And then they're like, okay, missed my opportunity, like that type of thing.
Okay.
And we're not deterred apparently by Fingers looking at them, you know.
Yeah.
Not that they know that it's him, but someone in the party looking in that direction.
Yeah.
They weren't like, let me refrain. They were like, it's probably still fine.
Yeah. Okay.
And you keep walking in that direction, and you hear Lucian go, "For why way?" Fingers like, "Just a bit more. So far so good, I guess."
Are we going to be, like, still in town once we get out of the tunnels, or is it's going to be out?
Yeah. Well, that's why we're going this way.
What? I don't know.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
It'll take us outside the city. It's the only the path that goes outside. That's why we didn't go this way with Farniel, because of the risk.
What? Oh, you mean like the yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, almost there.
Well, she got out, so that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep walking that way. Go ahead and roll a, what are you doing right now? Like, what are you feeling? What are you thinking? What's going on with Etheod, you know?
I think Etheod's like, more and more that I live and breathe, the more and more I realize I don't know anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that he's like, I don't know how to interact with people. I don't know how to be a rogue at all. I don't know how to even live. Like, I've thought that I was doing a pretty good job, but now a lot of people want me dead, and I don't know what I did. And I think that he's very, like, he's speed running coming to terms with these things. Because I think that he's like, there is so much happening that I can only take like half a second for each one to be like, oh, that sucks. 5 stages of grief.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
I gotta be present in the moment. Yeah.
And that's the other thing, is that he's like, and I can't take any time to, mentally tackle these things. I just have to be like, that is a fact of life, and now I will adjust my behavior in some capacity. And so I think that, like, it truly is just the panoply of human emotions. Just like, I am feeling everything and nothing all at once, and stuff is just happening, so I'm gonna keep walking down this tunnel.
And as you're having that fun, you see in front of you there's a thief talking to another thief. They're kind of looking at each other, and all of a sudden their kind of movements start to get a little more animated to each other. You start hearing, your mother, that type of thing, and they're kind of like going to like punch each other. And then all of a sudden you hear just like, and then the sound of someone's like jaw cracking, and all of a sudden they're like brawling, like right in front of you, and Meredith is like backing up with the kids, like whatever, and you can see other thieves too that are kind of joining in, like in this general area, like, and they're all going, your mother, like this was the focus of the argument. You can hear like ka-ting, like coins flying out of like bags and stuff. Other thieves like picking up the coins, as you are you like watching?
Yeah, I think that Etheod's like, what could have possibly made everyone so angry?
And this is like the big like focus, of this kind of area. It's like all of a sudden shifted to this argument that's going on. And you can see the like fight is kind of like moving, like the centralness of it. It's kind of like moving more like centrally located into the tunnel. And you can see too, because you're like kind of next to Meredith and Lucian, you can see Lucian is like looking over he's like looking at the fight and kind of like looking back to put his arm like up to protect you guys from just like as a gesture, that sort of thing, but he's looking at the fight. And you can see, everything is going on, and you guys all stop because you're like, what the heck?
Yeah, is it getting close to us?
Not really. It's kind of just staying in that general area. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
11.
Meredith is, you can see she's like turned around and kind of like, got her hands, kind of around the kids, like shield every eyes from this argument that's going, like make sure everybody stays together. And then you hear in from that direction either Sana or Leela, they have the same voice. You hear them go, "Who are you?"
Etheod's gonna whip around.
As you whip around, you can see Meredith look up, and actually, does Lucian, is he paying attention? Lucian is still kind of watching the fight. It's pretty loud, like, in that area. And you see that she looks over her she's, like, turned to look at a thief who has his arms around Ekthu.
Okay, cool.
And the thief kind of, like, is looking at the task at hand and kind of, like, looks up at everyone who's looking in that direction.
Immediately Etheod, like, charges over there. I think because he's, like, he sees a little tiefling kid that was the same age as him, like, getting his agency taken away from him. And he's like, okay, no.
Yeah. So when you do that, you see, as you kind of like go over there, you can see that this thief has his hand around the kid's mouth. Ekthu is just like looking up at Sana, who's like looking at the situation, but she's like a kid, so she's not like, let me freaking give him a piece of my mind. She's like, what the heck do I do? All the kids are kind of like turned and they start like backing like towards Meredith, like puts her arms out. Lucian starts like following you, like he's right on your tail walking around. And as you approach, are you saying anything to the guy?
I think that he's just like, let go. Like, that's all he says.
Mm-hmm. And the guy is gonna kind of look up at you and just kind of like sheepishly like open his mouth. He's still backing up with Ekthu. And as you get closer, you see, as he kind of steps back into the shadows, you see that he steps back into Fingers.
Oh,
who's standing behind him with his arms crossed. And Fingers he like steps back into him, and Fingers like looks down at him and is like, let go. And the thief is gonna kind of like look kind of behind, he's like, like looks back and sees Fingers and is gonna roll something. Kind of he's like holding on to him still, and Fingers is just like standing there, like so sure that he's gonna, like, you've all clocked him. You're still walking in that direction?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, the moment that he gets close enough, he's gonna try and grab Ekthu.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Lucian's like walks up and is just like, let go. And as you all walk in that direction, you can see like Meredith is like, as you walk past her, you feel Meredith like hold on to your clothes. She like grabs.
Clothes?
Yeah, she like grabs at you.
Oh, okay. He ignores that.
Yeah, but you can kind of get the sense that she's doing it just to hold on to something.
Oh,
like she's not like trying to stop you. She grabs onto you and lets go and grabs Lucian. Like she's just like, everybody's here, right? Like this is whatever. And the guy lets go, like moves his arms kind of like an inch, that gives an Ekthu enough room to kind of slip out of his grip, and he like looks, it like puts his back up against the wall, and then Fingers is like looking like down at him and like head kind of cocked to the side, and he's like, I just wanted to ask him a couple questions, so
what questions could those be?
To a kid? Well, I just thought maybe he knew where his brother was. Yeah, he knows where he is. The guy's kind of gonna look up at him and like raise an eyebrow. Well, I'll just be on my way, and kind of like slink backwards and start kind of like rubbing his shoulders against the wall, like as he like steps away. And Fingers is gonna roll a Constitution saving throw, and he's gonna look at the guy and like open his hand like in his direction and then just like shut it, and then just like go through like a moment of just deep exasperation. Just like squeezing his fists together, and he just like starts, Ekthu is like backed up fully into the group of children. And he just starts like walking everybody in that direction. She's like, maybe we should speed up a little bit, huh?
I think that Etheod turns around and looks at Ekthu, and he's like, if that ever happens to you, again, if somebody grabs you, do as much as your tiny person body can to make noise.
Ekthu is like looking kind of like dejectedly at you and everybody. He's kind of getting pats all over to be like, you okay? I mean, he's kind of like, you can tell, you get the sense that he's a little embarrassed that anybody that happened at all. You know, like he feels like it was his fault, like that sort of thing. And he's kind of just like, you start talking to him and he kind of like looks away, like pissed offedly.
I mean, you could be upset about it, but you need to do that. So, let's go, I guess.
Let's go. You guys keep, like, moseying on in that direction. And the Fingers just like, this oldest trick in the book. Start the fight about your mother, and then...
Is it really a fucking trick?
Yeah,
what
man.
the fuck?
Is it... We never distracted anybody before and stolen something?
No. I've not had a partner.
I'm not gonna fall for that, mate. It's not you, mate. Right, mate? It's not you. It's just a regular person. Yeah, I guess.
It's fine. Everything's fine. It worked out, I guess. So, let's just get out of here.
Like I said, there's not a lot more. Lucian, can you walk behind everybody? Yeah, mate. Probably should have been doing that in the first place. It's alright.
It's a learning experience. Anyways.
Lucian's gonna kind of like walk back there, and you see the kids are kind of like looking over their shoulder at Lucian, and he's kind of just like looking down at them, and he gives them like the most your mother and I are getting a divorce face, you know, but it's all gonna be fine. Like he's just like gives him like a like smile. He's like immediately worriedly starts looking at the back of Fingers' head, and all the kids go, well, that was the worst thing that could have possibly happened. And you keep walking in that direction, and Fingers is kind of very suspiciously at this point just taking looks over his shoulder to like make sure everything's okay.
Everything's fine, you know.
You know it's not.
Well, it's right now it's great, you know. Everyone's here and we're leaving, and also we're all alive, so I would say that's a success. I can only handle so much.
You don't need to worry about.
Everybody's telling me that I don't need to worry about X, Y, and Z.
Well, here's what you don't need to worry about. Making it all fine.
What?
You come up to me and say that everything's fine. You don't need to. Don't waste your breath, man.
You know, I might not be saying it for you. So you don't have to listen.
It is fine.
Okay.
You're right. It is fine. You're fine. You're fine.
You don't need to do this.
I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
Are you all right?
Are you all right?
I asked you.
No. But it's fine, you know.
I'm all right.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry?
About earlier.
No.
If I scared you.
You didn't. I've felt really bad about it.
Why? You didn't.
Because I made you tell me something that you didn't want to tell me, and that I don't like telling people about myself. So, and now I feel like something weird.
What's weird?
It feels like weird, different, and if that's true, that's fine. But I don't know why and what I did.
If you got it, nothing, none of that. What do you mean? We're different. You mean?
Like it's not like I'm really I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Well, you should know.
But
you should everybody. If I shouldn't even be here.
But what?
Because so you should know, so that you know. I should not be allowed to hide it. So.
What?
You feel bad making me tell you something that I don't want to talk about. But the reason I don't want to talk about it is because it's so bad. You should know. And now you do. So whatever. I guess I can understand how you would feel different.
No, I don't feel different. I feel like you feel different towards me. And I don't know what I did to make that happen. And I don't feel different about you. I mean, you tell me that, and now that's just like information that I know about you. I don't, I'm sorry that happened,
I
but
don't want to talk about
I know, and I'm not trying to. What I'm saying is, not that I don't care, but I don't. You're still you.
I don't know.
But I feel like you see me differently. And I don't know what I did.
You didn't do anything. I just thought we were more similar than we were. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, but
I don't see you.
But now you don't. It's fine.
No, I don't what?
Nothing. Nothing. It it happens with everyone that knows me. So it's normal.
What are you accusing me of, man?
I'm not accusing you of anything. I just.
I don't see you.
We're not the same anymore. So something has changed.
That's a good thing.
No, I don't. I don't think so.
You
liked how we were before. Okay. I don't.
That's not. It's.
We don't need to talk about it. It's.
You brought it up.
Okay. And now I'm bringing it up. It doesn't matter how you feel about me. I guess the point is, don't assume how I feel about you, because nothing has changed at all. I'm not that complex.
I don't feel any differently about you, man. You're still my brother, and that's it. I don't understand.
You don't have to lie.
I'm not lying to you. Oh. You can see him, like, vein popping out on his forehead.
Yeah.
Like he's the mental gymnastics he's trying to, like, going through. The way it was before is the same now. I'm a little, I guess. Here are the people who know this about me. You. My mom.
Okay.
So, I apologize for being a little, I don't know, a little. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that you're not my brother. I was somewhere else and then I was here, and I've been trying to figure out what I should do.
What do you mean?
About it. I have an idea or two. They've...
Like what?
I don't know.
I don't, I don't know. I don't know anything. But I feel like you don't need to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know anything, and that keeps getting proven more and more, and...
Yeah, I've thought about this from every angle.
Okay.
There's nothing new that you can...
I'm not gonna try to offer anything new.
I just mean that it seems like it was just me, and then there's him too, and I didn't want to deal with that, and then there's you too, and it was just nice, is all, to think that I wouldn't wish that upon you. I wouldn't want you to have something like that.
Like what?
I wouldn't want you to have something that to atone for. But I thought that maybe
I might. I don't know.
But you don't know. That's what I mean. I believe you. I trust you. So.
I'm not so sure anymore.
I don't mean this. I don't want to mean it. But I'm not going to get my hopes up again. If it's all the same to you. That doesn't mean that I don't care about you, and I'm not gonna protect you or something.
You don't need to do that. I just,
I want to.
Okay.
Why wouldn't I? You're so...
No, stop. I don't want to know what anybody thinks about me. It's like I am cursed, you know.
I don't know what you mean.
Nothing, my whole... It doesn't matter, really. I don't know why I'm saying anything at all. So I'll stop. Just... I guess I just wanted to understand why something was different, because I don't understand anything at all. But I guess it's not.
Did I not explain it?
You did.
Nothing's different between us. The only thing that's different is that I thought we were more similar. I'm not disappointed. I'm happy. I wouldn't want that. So it's a good thing. I'm sorry.
Why?
That you're thinking about this. Like I said, I shouldn't be here anyway.
Me too.
It's not true.
It is. No, never mind. I think that he was gonna say something related to earlier events, and then Foley was like, "Oh, I think that this might be a bad thing to say."
What?
Nothing.
It's only fair, isn't it?
Is that how that works?
I'm pretty evil, Etheod.
You what? When the last one, the tiefling, when she was saying why they were looking for me, I almost just agreed to go back. Then it wouldn't be your problem anymore, and maybe I could finally have this end and be left alone. I don't. Maybe that wouldn't be true, but
You think that they would leave you alone?
I don't know. Maybe it could be figured out that I have no idea what they're talking about, and
You're putting a lot of faith in a bunch of little devils.
you know that's what I am. That's what you are.
It's not what you are.
It is. I still wish I had my horns. I wish I could tell people that I'm the tiefling. Because yeah, there are bad people, but there are bad people everywhere. The High Elves want me. I'll put it this way. The High Elves want me and you dead. They see us, they catch us, and they will kill us. They will kill Lucian. She said I was going to have a trial. Which one is the devil?
I don't know. Someone who'd kill you quickly rather than going through some sort of song and dance.
They didn't kill me before. They could have.
You shouldn't trust what they say.
I don't trust anyone.
I trust that the High Elves would kill us without a question. You have no idea what they would do to you. I can only imagine. stick with us.
Yeah. I guess my point is bad people are everywhere. It's not just one race. There are good people. You and I knew a girl named Luther. She was nice.
You know, I got a lot of blood on my hands today.
I killed someone. So
I'm sorry.
It happened, and I can't do anything about it now. So I anyways, it's just I'm sorry that I ask a lot of questions. I feel like I'm confused all of the time, and if maybe I could be less confused about something, that would be so great. But you know, you say that tieflings are evil and the devil and all these other things, but does that apply to me?
No.
So then...
Can we not do this right now?
Okay.
Can you just be confused? I'm pretty confused too, man.
Why are you confused? You seem to strongly believe that, so I just don't understand why it doesn't apply to me.
I don't either. You drive it.
Okay. You know, I was on my own for until I met you, and I feel like I could say that I've done a lot of stuff. I think that this is the most stuff that has happened to me in the past 2 days, 3 days. I don't even know how long it's been. Than has ever happened to me in my entire life.
Yeah, it's been pretty action-packed.
That's a fun way of describing it, like a book.
I wouldn't know.
Illiterate.
I thought this was a thing that you knew already.
I was making a joke. You can read. You've read hazing rules to me.
Yeah. I'd read him once or twice before. He's gonna like crack a smile at you.
You know, you sounded out some words, and I'm very proud of you. It's all in the.
You know something, Etheod?
Yeah.
You understand, we're quite urgent to find them. You hear that cutting through your conversation.
Oh!
Fingers did not suddenly change. You hear that cut through your conversation, and Fingers, like, stops and then kind of keeps walking. He's like, huh? Okay. And he kind of, like, looks at you and, like, raises an eyebrow as though to communicate, shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah. You also hear this. And Lucian and Meredith are kind of chatting with each other, and they're kind of doing that. Yeah, so, I've fixed that before, the windows, so I can understand that. Yeah, it was still pretty drafty, it was quite drafty, even if you, like that.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know, for the kids, we will perform fine. And you and Fingers then hear in someone's voice. Look, mister, I don't know what the expensive one is, but the other one is either down here. And it's kind of like you're walking kind of past this conversation, so it's getting slightly louder. And you hear, Fingers lives at the orphanage. Bosco just told me, saw the scary blue assassin outside at her glass breaking. I'd say they're probably flying the coop right now. If you stop bothering us and let us do a job, we might be able to find them. And then you're, well, if you knew he was at the orphanage, why didn't you just go in there and get him? What, get killed? I'm sure somebody explained this to your high-ups. Like, Doppler effect loudness, and Fingers is, like, looking at you, kind of like as you guys both hear that.
Yeah.
You hear Meredith and Lucian's conversation kind of stop, and you realize that the conversation between these two people has also stopped as you are very clearly in view now.
Yeah.
And go ahead and roll performance to be regular looking.
16. Can I give Fingers a help action?
Yeah. Meredith, who's just almost had one of her kids snatched, and Fingers, who is going through it. Like, you notice that the reason that they stopped talking is because Meredith and Fingers both turned to look at them. And then they turned to look at Meredith, like, both parties. Are you looking at them at all?
I think that, yeah. I mean, I think I'm just, like, watching the, like, Meredith and the kids to be like, nobody's gonna stop us, right?
Yeah, you're watching the Meredith and the kids. You see them both kind of look back forward.
What, Meredith and Fingers?
Yeah, like they went from being like, you know, like they're just looking back straight where they were, walking that direction, and you're kind of looking at them. And Lucian, who's behind them, kind of like turns to look at Meredith, and he's like, yeah, I heard them too. Scary blue assassin, huh? It was a good thing we got out of there, right, Mum? And she's gonna like kind of turn and look over her shoulder at him and turn back and be like, yeah, you're right. Well, yeah, everybody got out safe. So that's a good thing. Yeah, so just make it to the next place that you're gonna stay. You just got to get there, and it will be all right. Right, guys? And like looks at you and Fingers, and Fingers is like nods his head. He like opens his mouth to say something and is like, I have a noteworthy voice, and then like stops and just like nods his head.
Yeah. That's all Etheod says, just sadly.
Come on, mate.
What?
It's all right. We've gone through this before, haven't we?
Too many times.
You sure all right? Yeah. Well, and like is doing one of those with his 17 performance check. Yeah. And you can see that he kind of like passes a glance over in their direction and notices whatever. Yeah. Like who were you looking?
I think I kind of glance at the folks too to see if they're still watching us.
You see the folk that was most probably a high elf. You saw him moving when he was talking. Has gone back through whatever door he popped out of to have this conversation, and the thieves are going back in the other direction. You could maybe interpret that as in the direction of the orphanage.
Okay.
To be like, still there, scene of the crime, whatever. Yeah. Who knows, that type of thing. So.
Cool. So, they're like, nobody's in earshot anymore, right?
Other than like one or two sundry thieves, like those people are not in earshot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that Etheod is just like, says very quietly to Fingers, you know, it's terrifying, but it's kind of flattering that I'm expensive.
Fingers is gonna roll his eyes.
I'm desirable, I told you earlier.
What?
Oh, no, never mind.
You're what?
Nothing. Maybe you didn't hear.
Who were you telling that you were desirable to earlier?
Just forget that story. No, you just forget. It's not going to be a story. It's going to be nothing.
I'm not really very good at that.
Okay, well, pretend you don't know.
And you guys keep doing that. And you walk past, as you kind of like walk around, you notice that the runes are more or less disappearing.
Yeah.
And you see less and less thieves as you keep moving in that direction. And while you're still going this way, Finch, a while ago, had run up the wall to go talk to his parents.
Mommy and Daddy.
What did Finch go do?
Finch... So...
It's brief Etheod moment.
He was... I know that Finch was saying Mommy and Daddy, but you had said that...
Daddy.
Yeah, like, his dad's only here. His mom's not here, right?
Yeah, his mom's not here.
Okay.
Just dad.
I think that where is his dad right now? Does he know? Does he know where his dad's
like presumably back
be?
at the inn. Oh, wait, no, rewind. Sorry. His mom is back at the inn. His dad is like, you don't know necessarily. You know, like the basic itinerary, which is like, I'm going to go into town. I'm going to get produce, that type of thing. I got like a place that he would usually go to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Finch as a little rat is running through to all those places, but the first one is the one that's like right next to the cobbler that washes their laundry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they get their laundry done there as well.
And is going to the business directly next to it because he's like, that was one of the places that Daddy was gonna be.
What is it?
A linen store.
Okay. Oh, you just gotta get like sheets for one of the beds.
And
okay.
so he like crawls through the like floorboards and is like looking around, seeing if his dad's there.
When you do that, you see like the high-heeled ladies' feet as they buy whatever. You're looking for a very specific pair of boots.
Yeah.
What do these boots look like?
They're like chunky and black, but like really worn. And like, you know how when like the sides of boots get all wrinkled and like kind of crumpled down?
Yeah.
It's like that. And for sure, they're like really not laced at all.
As Rat Finch, I imagine you would be able to sniff out your dad's feet.
We'll say yeah.
Like sniff out his boots and be like, those are the dad's boots.
Those are Dad's feet. Mom always says how horrible they smell.
And she's right.
And she's right.
So go ahead and roll a, we'll say, insight check on the many smells that you're perceiving.
Unnatural 20.
Okay, cool. So you see like high-heeled feet, bare feet, why? Don't like that. Other, but like nice boots, whatever. And then you're like dodging them and stuff. And it's very like you step on one lady's feet and you go, ah! And then you like bank off the wall, going under a thing.
Sorry!
And then you appear in front of your dad's boots.
Okay, cool. He like climbs up his dad's pant legs and onto his shoulder and unwild shapes so that he's sitting on his dad's shoulders.
His dad's shoulders suddenly are like very heavy on one side. And he's like, Finch, what are you doing here?
What do you mean?
On my shoulder.
Oh, fun. This is fun.
Get down.
All right. And he like hops down. He's like, I want to go on an adventure.
I know you do, Finch.
But an opportunity has been arisen to me.
Oh.
There were these people.
The blue linen ones. I know I have an accent. These people. What were you saying, Finch?
Lady, he said the blue ones. Anyways.
Don't call her a lady. Thank you, ma'am.
Madam. Mrs. Lennon. Well, so, these people, I met them in the tunnel. I was a rat and I was following these people in the tunnel. And there was a bunch of kids my age. And there was like, I'm not so good at math, but there was a lot of them. And they said that they needed a place to stay before they got to Yendori Telenthi, and I told them that we have a tavern.
Good boy. And he's gonna, like, ruffle your hair.
Well, and I tried to take a down payment because, you know, a good business practice. And I'm out of milk. And milk is expensive. So I tried to get 3 gold, but they wouldn't pay me anything. But they...
That's understandable.
Why?
A rat boy in the tunnels appears to you and answers all of your questions. I feel as though I would not give that boy 3 gold for milk. Thank you, ma'am. He, like, grabs the linen.
I love how monotone this dad is.
Let's go. Does he call you Finch, or does he call you
I think
Douglas?
he calls it Finch.
Let's go, Finch.
All right.
All right.
Well, but you're not listening.
Hold my hand, Finch.
All right. Holds his hand. You're not listening to me. So, they said that that I could ask permission to go on an adventure with you, and then they could stay at the tavern and
with me.
No, he like looks at ask permission with you to go on an adventure with them.
Ah, I see. It makes sense now.
They're going to. I said this before, so hopefully you were listening. They're going to Yendori Teltenenti, and Linus is there, and I could see him.
That you could.
And I'm excited. Do I have permission?
What?
To go on an adventure.
You're going to follow these people to where we live?
I think...
Why not just wait there until they show up, Finch?
Well,
look, Finch, I know that we've been talking a lot about strategic business decisions and marketing and all of that sort of thing, but you've got to think about this logically as well.
Well, I am. I didn't say that I was going to go find them again, and then...
I suppose you didn't. That was on me.
It was.
In fatherhood, it's important to admit... I really am not sure.
In fatherhood, yeah, you've said that before because you're wrong a lot.
Finch. Now, Finch.
I'm listening.
You mustn't say that about your father.
But you told me to tell the truth because the truth will get me...
Cutting. So cutting. I guess you're right. Anyway.
Do I have permission to go on an adventure?
Would I be permitted to perhaps meet these people before you follow a bunch of strangers a day's journey away, Finch?
I think you're permitted.
Well, we'll meet them if they're going to the Little Daisy, then we will meet them there.
I guess so.
All right.
They were cool. They were talking about love and being in love, and then also not liking love, and then one of them is in love with the walk, which doesn't seem
Certainly I will meet these people before you follow them to the castle town.
Well, but Linus is there, and Linus is great.
Linus is at the castle town. He's not the whole way on the... He's not part of the group.
But he's the end of the adventure.
Nevertheless, I shall meet these people before you go with them.
Okay.
All right. So I've got a few more errands to run, and then we'll be getting on the carriage and going back to the Little Daisy.
All right. Do I have to stay, or can I roam?
We've been working on this, Finch.
Roaming?
One more time.
Roam.
You've got it.
Roam.
You may roam.
Thank you.
Sprints
off.
You hear your dad go, "That's my little boy."
Robot for a dad.
He's not a robot, he's just a man. Anyway, so what's on the agenda for Finch? You just gonna screw around until...
I think he's just gonna screw around. I think he's like... I think he goes to a bar, like to a tavern, and he like walks in and he climbs up onto the countertop and he's like, "Barkeep,
what's that then? What are you doing in here, Squirt?
Well, I am giving you my business.
You're not meant to be in here. This is a bar, innit?
Well, do you have milk?
We've got, probably in the back somewhere.
A cream will do fine too.
Oh, we've got that.
Great. Cream on the rocks. Make it a double.
He's gonna, like, raise an eyebrow at you and, like, look at his wife. And she starts making you a cream on the rocks. And that'll be 4 gold.
4?
Oh, you've not got the funds to pay.
Well...
As it turns out, this is an establishment, young mister.
How about... Look, if I don't take my business elsewhere, you could get 3 silver. Or the bar, the tavern down the road would give me a cream on the rocks double for 1 copper. Do you want my 3 silver? Or do you want the other bar to get my money?
The, like, wife starts, like, chuckling. He's like, Dehun, don't be such a stick in the mud. Give the kid his half and half.
It's cream.
Right, his cream. And she's gonna, like, put it down in front of you and say, there you go, sweetie, on the house.
On the house? Now that's how you run a business.
And you all, like, share a chuckle. And Dehun kind of just, like, shrugs his shoulders. And then you hear, ba-da-da-da-da-da. And the vignette, like, gets really small. Any other stuff you wanted to do as Finch?
No, he just slams the cream. I think...
Getting a little tipsy.
Getting a little tipsy. I'm actually lactose intolerant, so this is a bad idea.
But instead of messing up my tummy, I just get
drunk.
Camoed. Cool. So that's what you're doing until you go back with your dad. You're just chilling at the dented euphonium drinking cream with ice in it.
It keeps it cold.
I want it neat.
Neat. Actually, can I get olive?
I want a couple droplets of water.
Just a few, though.
It blooms the whiskey. It'll bloom the smell of the cream, make it more fragrant. You really get the, it's barrel-aged cream.
Barrel-aged.
Glass-aged cream. Queen, so as you do that, you're there for, like, your dad told you about how many errands he had left to run. It's going to be like 45-ish minutes, something like that. And I
think that as he's there, he, like, calls friggin'... This is the dented euphonium, right?
Yeah.
He calls Dehun over. Mm-hmm. And he's like, can I ask you a couple questions about your business practices?
Lad, I'm a bit busy. You can keep it short.
All right. Are you entrepreneurial?
Well, I mean, we're quite happy with just this location, I'd say.
No, I have no interest in expanding your horizons. I was called that I have entrepreneurship.
You were told what now?
That I have entrepreneurship.
Congratulations,
Are you entrepreneurial?
I suppose so.
What are you entrepreneurial about?
Well, we've opened a business, haven't we?
Well, but then that's not being entrepreneurial. That's just owning a business. Entrepreneurial is wanting to open other businesses and being active. Proactive. Not just active, but proactive.
Well, I'd say no then.
Oh, that's a shame. Your business is gonna run to the ground if you don't have the entrepreneurial spirit.
Well, we always try to have interesting drink specials, and it's quite, up and coming. Why am I talking to you about this? And, like, stomps his feet and walks away. So as you freaking be an adult little boy, the most adult conversation, the party of Etheod, etc., you approach a, you know, like when doors are shut and there's light behind them and there's like an eye shape in light, whatever. You hear Fingers say, I can't believe.
See, I told you everything was fine.
You know what? You were right. He, like, nods at you, and you hear Lucian kind of go, like, Lucian and Red just, like, exhale behind you. You all approach. It's like a door, and you can tell as you get closer that it isn't just perspective, that the door is small, because you're far away. The door is really small. Okay. Like, it's very small. And Fingers is like, at least, you know, the kids.
Lucian, you're a big guy. I guess you're going to be trapped forever and ever.
Oh, go lost.
You should go first, and then, well, actually, if you get stuck, then none of us can leave.
I'm gonna go through the door. Just, like, ducks, like, through it. And you can kind of see when the door opens that it's just, you see, like, trees, just, like, leaves and the crap. That's what's on trees. You see, like, just, you know, you're clearly outside Waypoint Town. It's very, like, naturey, but it's very, like, oh, my eyes, plants, and then it shuts again, especially tiefling. You have dark vision, right? Yeah.
A so superior you're like, dark vision.
And he, like, the door is kind of, like, horizontal. It's not, like, not completely, it's, like, at an angle. It's not completely straight up. So he opens the door and he reaches his hand through to kind of, like, help you through it.
Okay. I think Etheod takes it because, like, I am blind.
Yeah. And you feel him kind of, like, pull you back, like, pull you through the door. And you can feel yourself hit the door.
Yeah.
Because you're not big, but you're, like, you're skinny, but you're long.
Yeah.
And so you have to comport yourself. You have to turn yourself the right way.
Yeah.
Like, turn the table the right way to get through the door.
And I think that as Etheod crawls out, his eyes are, like, slammed shut. He's like, oh, God.
Yeah.
I will be, just so you know, I will be blind for, like, the foreseeable future.
Oh, I'm feeling great right now, too, buddy. And you don't see this, but Fingers' eyes are also basically shut.
Yeah.
And he kind of reached through, like, I know where you are.
Yeah.
I don't need to see you to know that that's where you're.
With Etheod, because he has superior dark vision, just so you know, he gets disadvantage on, checks that rely on sight and direct sunlight.
Gotcha. Is it a tiefling thing or an Etheod thing?
It's an Etheod thing.
Okay, cool. So Fingers is just like shaking his head, whatever. You're like, ugh, and you hear like Meredith be like, "Oh goodness," like she has to like get herself through this thing, and you can hear Fingers be like, ugh, as he like pulls her through the door. She was like, "Well, that was graceful. All right, why don't you help the kids? You know, whatever." And Fingers. You can kind of like, you can hear Fingers and, you know, Lucian and Meredith together, like pulling kids through this door as you like rub your eyes and stuff. You can kind of see it's like if you were wearing, if you've ever done this before, completely white, like sclera contacts where everything is just got like a white, like beauty filter. You have like a bright yellow filter over the world. And you can kind of see that, and every once in a while your eye will kind of go where there's like a direct sunlight through a tree and completely blind you. And as you're doing that, you hear Lucian go, "All right, here we go." And he's like trying to find a way for him to come out of the door, like that like works for him, because it's like a small door, but it's kind of long and skinny. Yeah. And so Meredith she's relatively short, so she could kind of just like go sideways through it with like Fingers pulling her. But Lucian is not just tall. he's big also. And so he's like gets himself like Pooh Bear like halfway through the door, and he's just like, "Well, guys, do you think you could give us a hand here?"
Where echolocation? Where are you? And it's like reaching out.
Man, you can hear Meredith be like, I can't help you for the other reason, but also because I'm laughing. I can't, I would be not of service. And Fingers is like grabbing his hand. You can see Lucian, like, even with your freaking face, his cheeks are a little pink. Like, he's like, I said I've been eating well. I wasn't lying, clearly. I promise though, I used to be, like, as they like pull him through the door. Glory, lads, come on, mate. What do you want me to do, man? I don't know, suck it in, figure it out. It's not my stomach, mate.
What is it, your ass?
Meredith starts like clapping, and Fingers is like, we all really should be quiet. But I can't. Listen.
My ass is too. Is that what you mean when you said that you're a little thick earlier today? My ass is too fat to fit through the door. My ass was the reason for my demise. I couldn't get through the door because I was too caked up.
The problem is that this is really happening, mate, and we've really got to go. So you can get it together briefly. It's all muscle, mate. What can I say?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's all muscle.
And you get him different, and you just, oh, good lord, lad. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Well, we're going to try.
Fingers is gonna be like, can you suck that in?
Clench, I don't know.
I think that would make it worse. This is a nightmare. Thank God. Thank God Tab's not here. I would never hear the end of it.
Oh, I don't. Is she. What?
Well,
nothing.
He's gonna like.
She would probably have some kind of way to get you out. Some kind of potion or something.
Yeah, she probably would. Well, I think one more go.
Alright.
It'll be through. You like grab him under his arms and like yank one more time. He's just like, oh.
Are your bones alright?
Oh, my bones?
Yeah. You just fixed your leg, right? Or did you fix everything?
I'm trying not to think about it.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You're welcome.
You don't have bones.
I've not got them.
You don't got bones.
I'm just.
You're just fat.
I'm just
and
an
muscle.
ass. Mate. And he's gonna like turn.
What are you gonna do about it? You're stuck. I can run away.
Oh, good lord.
You're stuck and I'm blind and weird.
I think maybe you just leave me here.
No.
Look, at least nobody can get out this way. Not with me in the way. All right, one more time. Put some, you know.
All right, fingers ready. 1, 2, 3.
Fingers like yanking as hard as he can, but he's laughing so hard that it's not that good. But you very slowly you very slowly get him moving, and you pull him through the rest of the way. He like lands on top of both of you, and Meredith has like her whole hand in her mouth, laughing. Oh goodness!
All right, so lay off a couple. I don't know, pastries. Or something.
I've got to say, Etheod, I don't think that would be a problem.
Well, yeah.
You can see like, you can see like his shirt. You can see his like all scraped, like all his pants are scraped. And as you pull him through the door, you can see that what you have pulled him through ostensibly is like a rotted out part of a tree trunk. Oh. So it's like the door was kind of built into the back of a tree. So he basically just got like scraped with all this like wood shards.
You know, for a healer, you're really bad at keeping yourself healthy and good.
Thanks, mate.
You're welcome.
Vote of confidence from you.
Well, it's not.
I'm not gonna waste.
I don't think that it's confident. Also, would it not be wasting if you are somewhere dead, I don't know, incapacitated, you can't do anything for us.
Well, no, mate. I already did all I could.
Okay. I don't know, actually.
You're right.
I don't know. Oh, can I ask my other question now? Oh, well, first, he, like, goes and he closes the door.
I think we ought to get moving, huh?
I can talk and walk.
Well, let's make sure there's not anybody around here, or we just cause a ruckus.
Oh. Sorry, I'm just elated. Is that what that word means?
Elated. You happy?
Yeah.
I'll guess. Fingers is gonna like you're in like a bottom of a tree, and Meredith is just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 12. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 3. Like counting everyone, like looking everybody over. Sana and Leela are like, you also hear them being like 1, 2, 3, like counting. Everybody's there. Fingers kind of like peeks around the thing. He peeks around the side of the tree trunk, and he stays there, and then he stops. Yeah, I'll just count.
What's wrong?
Nothing. What are you talking about?
Fingers.
Fingers is gonna kind of like, he like cocks his head kind of and starts like kind of walking in that direction.
Fingers. He's gonna like follow him.
He like kind of not cares, and then like he's not gonna try and stop you, and then he walks around the corner, and he's just like keeps going that way, and Lucy's like, "Oh, Fingers, mate," and he kind of stops. He's still kind of absent-mindedly got his head cocked to the side.
What are you doing?
Are you looking at what he is looking at? Yeah. So as you turn your head around to like look at that, go ahead and roll a perception check with disadvantage because of your e-balls.
8.
You see a figure.
Okay.
Walking towards you.
Who is that? I can't see.
He's kind of like looking at them. You can see him kind of like blinking his eyes, and then you see the figure kind of stop, and he was like leaning forward, kind of stands up straight, looks at them, and then walks back around, kind of like pulls you backwards back around the tree trunk where you were.
Fingers, what?
He's like, it kind of like looks at everybody. Everyone's like looking at him like, what the heck? And like, Meredith is like quieting the kids down, and he's like, somebody, light's so bright. Thought it was Yezi.
Okay.
Do you mean?
Don't say the name. Don't say her name.
Just like silence passes over you. You know, strain your senses to hear the footfalls. You couldn't tell that how far away the person was. You could tell that they're relatively far away, and you kind of remain in this tree trunk for the amount of time that you would imagine it would take, like a while, just to kind of like make sure you smooth stuff over. And slowly you see Fingers get up and creep around the corner, stick his head around the corner, and look back, and he's like, I don't see anybody.
Okay, let's go.
Right, and Lucian gets up, all the kids get up. He's like brushing like all of the wood in the universe off of his pants.
Yeah.
And you all start getting up. Fingers kind of stops and starts looking at Lucian, and Lucian is kind of like looking around him, like as though he's looking for the way that they need to go.
Yeah.
He's gonna reach into his bag and take out a compass and hold it up and kind of turn and just start walking in a direction.
Okay. I think that Etheod like is walking next to Fingers, and I think that he kind of says, like, he's like, I don't think that any names should be said ever. Just in case. I don't think any knowledge of
You're right.
A certain race even should be known. You've never seen anyone else like that before.
Well, at least they're looking in the wrong spot.
That's true. But, you never know who's listening.
Yeah. He's gonna, like, look down, like, as everybody keeps walking. And Lucian is gonna say, I know it was quite odd, but I do hope that lad comes with his parents. The carriage.
Oh, right. The rat.
Yeah, the rat.
How could I have forgotten?
I don't know how much longer I can keep this up.
Oh, what does it... That's hurt still?
Yeah, it's alright, it'll just be nice. That's all.
Okay. How does that stuff work? Does it not... You don't actually get fixed all the way?
Well, it was, you've got to take it easy. Like I said, mate, all it does is increase your body's natural healing capabilities. It's just going to make it happen faster, maybe a bit more complete than it would otherwise.
Why doesn't everybody just use that all of the time?
It's hard to make.
Oh.
I mean, listen, I can only get it right maybe once a day, if you will. Maybe once every few. It's hard to get right.
Okay.
So, it's quite expensive typically. Ingredients are expensive as well. I just sort of, I don't know.
Lucked out.
No, it's a combination of that, but also, I guess, necessity breeds invention, if you will. Well, that doesn't mean it's back together fully. It just, especially, you've got to take it easy for a while after you use it, just to make sure all is well. And, I mean, mate, if he's got raised dead, if I knew that all I had to do was... What? All I knew was that if I knew that I could make a potion and fix all my problems, I would have done that, wouldn't I?
Maybe you wanted to be in misery, I don't know. Dre's dead, like, what happened earlier?
No, she's just got it.
What does Dre's dead mean? Isn't that what happened earlier with the tieflings?
No.
They were dead and then they riz.
No, they were, well, mate, you might have just touched on quite a timely argument.
What?
There's a lot of conversation about that being true.
Raising dead? What being true?
It's the same thing.
Oh, like...
That it's barbaric. That sort of thing.
Why would it be barbaric? I mean, the other thing, yeah, but like, I've heard of... It's a hard word for me to say, but you know what I mean. And they're not rotting. You know, they look fine.
Well, it's not pleasant, kiddo.
What? Being alive.
Why do you know that? Well, not from experience. I know that I've known people, and a guy in the tunnel.
Yeah. The drunk.
That's his story. So
he died and was brought back.
It can be quite. Anyway, the point is, I lots of those who think that there's It's the same thing.
Oh.
I've never used it before, I suppose. Well, not since I had to.
Did you had whatever you used for your leg in the war?
We had some. I was at the tail end, so we had a lot less.
Is that why if he looks how she does?
I don't know. You'll have to ask her.
Okay.
I mean, when I used it, typically it had a more complete effect.
Mm.
Does that answer your questions?
I guess so.
He's gonna kind of like nod, look away from you, just keep kind of looking forward, and he says, "Wasn't sure of myself using it. I gave it to her."
Does she know how do you use it?
Of course. She'll know what it is. She knew what it was before.
Before?
She saw that I almost gave it to her.
When? Oh, when she was fighting people.
If you're so on the fence about it, then why have it on you in the first place? Well, if you must know, I wasn't sure what state we'd find Tuv's mum in. I was going to ask if she... I see. I was just personally curious. I'm sorry. Has anybody got any more questions?
Yes. But it's like not... it's just another... like, I wasn't able to ask it earlier because you told me to be quiet, not you others. Anyways, now that we have the time, can
What,
you...
a druid thing?
No.
What?
Your hand glowing gold without any potions.
Oh,
You said, oh, but I'm a cleric. Is that something that Ify can do?
I'm not sure.
Why does... Is that... What is that? I'm curious. I want to know.
Just, something I discovered that I could do.
When did you discover that?
Could I have a minute, lad?
What?
Said, could I have a minute, lad?
Okay. I think Etheod looks at him all wide-eyed like, I am in trouble.
Lucian's just gonna, like, walk a little bit ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
He's just been, like, like, bombarded with, like, 58 hit combo of, like, deep questions about stuff I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like Etheod didn't even realize that would be a deep question.
Yeah. And Fingers is gonna be like, you keep talking about his hands glowing. What are you talking about, man?
I don't know. When we were fighting, did Lucian have a minute with Etheod?
No.
Oh, just by himself. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, when we were in the orphanage, the tieflings came back to life and started attacking us again, and he raised his hands and it glue gold. He didn't take anything. I didn't see him drink a potion or anything, and it glue gold, and then all of
Buddy, it glowed.
What?
It's not glue.
Is it not?
Anyway, what? What do you mean they glowed?
Unreleased. Why isn't it not? Because the past tense of glow is
Just
a
stop
glue.
focusing on it. It was just funny. I told you, just take my word for it. What do you mean that they glowed?
It became gold light. I don't know. And then all of the dead got scared of it and ran away. And I don't understand. And then Lucian said something about it being faith-based, but I don't know what that means.
Well, huh.
But I'm curious. I want to know.
I don't know. I guess it's a lot for him to try and explain.
I know it doesn't seem like it, but I'm pretty smart.
I think it... What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Andy, you're pretty dumb.
What?
And he's gonna, give you, punch your cheek, as a joke type thing.
Oh, friggin' Etheod gets so... He, flinches so hard and puts his hands up.
I'm sorry, man.
Oh, it's fine.
I would never do anything like that.
I know.
I got you. Anyway, yeah.
I just want to know. I don't understand. Can I do that? That would be cool.
Maybe he can teach us.
Well, if you would explain
Well, I think,
anything at all.
He's a cagey guy, he's cagey.
A cagey
I
guy.
don't know, man. Look, just,
I'm a cagey guy, and I can't do anything cool, so...
I bet you can do lots of cool stuff. You, have that conversation as you're walking in the direction of wherever. Lucian is just, holding the compass, being like... Why must I have all the answers to all the questions?
I think that Etheod will look at Fingers and just be like, for 1 second. And he, catches up to Lucian. He's like, I gave you a moment. I'm sorry. I didn't... I'm,
Etheod.
Yeah. I'm trying.
What were you gonna say, mate?
I just don't understand anything, and I want to be less confused about everything. And you.
Here's my argument.
Argument?
As to why it's different.
To what's different?
I can't do that to people who've been raised.
You can't do what?
That.
Scare them away?
Doesn't do anything. I've never tried, but I get this sense, it's like in my stomach that something deeply evil is happening. If someone's been raised, I've got no clue unless they tell me. But if they've been turned, every fibre of my body says that something is wrong. Something that I've got to solve.
Okay.
I know it's unpleasant, but that's why it's got to be different.
I'm not talking about that, but good to know. I don't have any
It's mate, all it is that I'm a bit religious.
Yeah, but what does that mean? How are you able to do that by being religious?
Mate.
What? I don't know any... I have never known anyone who is religious at all, but also I don't really know
Etheod.
what that means.
I ask.
You ask?
I ask.
What?
For help.
From who?
Good.
And that happens?
It's an abomination of life. A most grievous sort. There's anything God cares about. It'd be things like that. I understand that you're confused. You want answers. I can't answer any more questions.
Okay. I'll leave you alone.
All you've got to know is that everything's alright and...
It's good. You don't need to cuddle me.
I'm not. I'm telling the truth.
Okay.
He's gonna, like, turn back, kind of like... He was, like, looking over his shoulder, talking. He's gonna turn back, face in the direction that you're walking.
I think Etheod slows down to match back up with Fingers. And he's like... He has the most, like, perplexed look on his face. He's like, that didn't answer anything at all.
Yeah, Fingers is gonna be like... Sounds like it went well.
I feel like I just have 20 more questions.
Well... Anyway, did you see that bird over there?
What?
And you do that as the freaking like verdant like mid-afternoon, like mid-late afternoon like landscape. It's still relatively sunny out, springtime, so the days are at least getting a little bit longer. And you all head off in that direction, you know, keeping your head on a swivel, but a lot less so than going through those tunnels.
Yeah.
And the camera flies through space and time.
Space-time continuum.
Space-time continuum. And it lands on Friday.
Friday?
The next Friday. After the Friday of the prior episode.
Oh!
Vahrae.
Yeah.
What's special about Fridays is that Vahrae hangs out with
Yusufi.
But you're not there this Friday.
Oh.
That's pretty atypical. You would only really ever do that if something really important was happening. And as you walk through the halls of this hospital,
Ooh.
you think about the lie you told Yusufi. So that you had plans to go see her, and then on Friday morning, all of a sudden that changed. What did you tell her?
That, he has detention throughout the whole weekend.
How did you get detention for the whole weekend, Vahrae?
I beat someone up.
Oh, well, I guess that makes sense.
They're off in a bad way, so... You know, they're fine, but... I'm just in trouble.
Well, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Where's Farniel?
I don't know, probably studying for a test or something.
Alright, well, I'll miss you.
I miss you too.
I see you next Friday, as long as you don't try to beat anybody up. Please.
I'll reel myself in.
Thank you. And she bounces.
Yeah.
You're like talking to her through like a bush or whatever.
Yeah.
And as you approach the room, you hear a voice talking. Go ahead and roll a investigation check.
Okay. 21.
Dang, bro. You hear a voice say, I mean, I think it's finally gotten bad enough that the headmaster might actually do something about it. I mean, I'm not untouchable, but I am the school's little PR charity case, aren't I? Me getting knocked around every once in a while was nothing. I'm in the hospital. They've got to do something now, don't they? I've been good. I've kept my nose out of trouble. I didn't even fight back this time, but somebody's got to do something to help me, right? Somebody's got to care. And you hear another voice say, I'm sorry, sweetheart. Just try to relax. Don't worry about it right
Freaking Vahrae's blood is boiling. I think that he rounds the like corner of the door frame and stands there and like looks at Farniel.
You see him, he's like mid-word, like opens his mouth to say something to the nurse, and you can see that she's like kind of like walking away from him, and he's kind of like up on one elbow, turned to face her. He's got his hand like on his side, and you can see he's got like his both eyes are black, and he's got like a bandage like on his nose, like across his nose, and just like little band-aids, like just like stitching little cuts together, that sort of thing. And he turns to kind of like continue talking to her as she walks away, and she sees you, and then he sees you too, and just kind of is like sitting there with his mouth open.
I think he looks at the nurse and he's like, do you have anything else you need to do?
But you're not supposed to be
I
here,
don't
right?
care.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
You can ask. Ain't gonna happen.
Who are you?
What's it to you?
He's my mate. He's come here to check on me, I guess. Can you stay for a bit? Just a bit.
It's gonna happen anyways.
All right, but just a few minutes. And she's gonna like, and like leave or whatever.
I think that Vahrae closes the door, and he closes it kind of like a little roughly. And is there a lock on the door?
No.
Okay. I think that he's gonna like grab a chair and like put it in front of the door, like under the door handle, to be like, a few minutes, my ass.
You hear Farniel just go when you do that.
What's this?
How did you find out?
The walls have ears, bruv.
I guess so.
They're hiding this from me.
No, it's just, I guess I made somebody angry. That's all.
And who would that be?
The usual suspects.
And who would that be?
You don't need to worry about it. Look, really,
I don't need to worry about it.
mate, I'm fine. The only reason I'm here is
You're in the fucking hospital.
But I'm alright. The only reason that they found that I'm here now is because I was unconscious when they found me. But I'm alright now.
Yeah. You're right now.
It's not something that you need to worry about. I'm handling it.
That is a bare lie. Who are the usual suspects? I'll find out some other way if you don't tell me.
Find out some other way then. It's really my fault anyway.
Oh, is it?
I decided that I was going to open my stupid mouth and...
Oh, what'd you say? Get you knocked unconscious?
They were running their mouths, so...
No, I thought we were mates. Thought we were blood.
I told them that they wouldn't have stood a chance either. You know, it was the Wahrae military that was protecting us. It wasn't my mum and dad out there with swords and axes. Their mums and dads wouldn't have stood a chance either. You know, we weren't always winning. Have they forgotten that? Just because Etheod is near the wall. That's the only reason it was sacked. It could have been any city. It didn't have anything to do with us. It didn't have anything to do with me.
I know. Don't have to convince me of that.
I could have just kept my mouth shut, and I didn't, so... I knew it was going to happen anyways.
Who were they?
There's
Farniel.
What are you going to be like them?
What do you mean?
Do to them what they did to me?
No. If you don't want me to.
I wouldn't want that.
And still, who?
You've got to drop it because I'm not going to tell you. Is that all you care about?
Is what all I care about.
Who did it to me?
Why would I not? You know, I thought you were my best mate. And you're lying to me about...
I didn't want you to get in trouble again.
What do you mean?
You got in trouble defending me the first
It had
time.
nothing to do with you.
You wouldn't have. You know, they told me. What you said to them. Didn't want you to get in trouble again, so... Besides,
So
it
you
didn't do
chose to-
anything. Really. Sorry to say.
You chose to lie to me instead. Tell me everything was fine. That you were fine.
I was.
Yeah. That nothing was happening.
It wasn't. It wasn't as bad as before because they couldn't...
So it wasn't as bad, but it was still happening. Is it not important to you? That was happening to me. Would it not be important to you? I mean, fuck Farniel. Of course I want to know.
I didn't want you to do anything about it. And I couldn't guarantee that you wouldn't. That's important to me.
I won't do nothing about it. At least not in that capacity.
Besides, I really am alright.
You're going to be honest with me? You're going to keep me in the dark?
It's just pain.
Like that matters. Doesn't matter if it's physical pain. Doesn't matter if it's... if they were just stealing your lunch money.
You can't do anything about it.
I believe you.
So why?
So why not tell me?
Yeah. Well, I tell you.
Why not? Don't
Because-
trust me.
I didn't realise that you were going to do something about it in the first place. It took me by surprise.
I didn't tell you.
I just didn't want you to...
I didn't promise nothing. I'll keep to my word.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
You want to point out another way that I...
I think that he, like, grabs at his hair. He's, like, so angry. And I think he, like, turns and, like, punches the door frame really hard. And then just kind of, like, stands there, like, trying to collect himself. And then turns back around and, like, walks towards the bed.
Shand, okay.
Don't worry about it.
I'm not allowed to worry about you.
I'm not allowed to worry about you. I think Vahrae's like holding his hand behind him because it's like, ouch.
That hurt, actually.
I don't know what I did, but I don't want him to see. And I think that he's just like, what's wrong with you? Like, what were they treating you for?
What's wrong with me? You mean how did I get hurt? That's what you mean?
Yeah.
I guess I have a concussion or something. And I think probably some broken ribs, but that's not from this.
What's that from?
I told you it didn't do anything.
You can like, I feel like you can hear him gritting his teeth.
But I've had a potion, so I'm just resting up a bit. I mean, all of this, he like gestures to his face and stuff. He's like, it's better. So there's that. God bless modern medicine. Like winks at you.
I think Vahrae doesn't even smirk. Scoot over.
You don't have to.
Scoot over.
He's gonna scoot over.
Vahrae's gonna like sit on the bed and like back against the wall and his legs are out on it.
It is what it is, you know.
I'm not too keen on accepting that.
I've had a lot of time too, so.
You shouldn't accept it either.
I can't do anything about it. I can't fight back. They'll kick me out. I did the first time and they told me that if I was going to make trouble, then maybe this whole experiment was a bad idea. I can't do anything about it.
As much as I hate this coming out of my mouth, I could get my parents involved.
I wouldn't want to cause you problems.
Why would that cause me problems?
I don't know. Because then you have to deal with them. I know they're not your favourite.
They're not my favourite. But I think that he like looks away as he says this. He's like, Farniel, I'd do anything for you, bruv. I was speaking to my parents. It's a thing that I can do. Oh, woe is me.
It's just the same sort of thing, isn't it?
What do you mean?
I don't want it to be fixed because somebody has more money than somebody else. Do you not understand that? I want it to be fixed because someone thinks it's wrong. Somebody.
I think it's wrong.
That's not what I mean. Don't want your parents to. They don't even know my name, I bet.
I do.
Never met me.
It's because I don't want you to.
Exactly. I don't want them to go to the headmaster and take out that bankroll and...
That's not what they do.
I don't want you to put them up to it. I want somebody... I don't know where you came from, mate.
Where I came from. What do you mean?
I thought maybe there would be somebody like you who would do something about it. Somebody who's not a kid. Somebody who's not a kid who's 2 years younger than me. It should not be your problem. I don't want it to be.
It's not...
You're talking to your parents and they talk to the headmaster. Fine. You can do what you want.
I'm not going to do anything you don't want me to. I don't want to... don't want to just sit around.
I graduate in a few months. I've just got to keep my head down. And by the time your parents have the audience with the headmaster. It'll probably only be a few months anyway. What are they going to do? Kill me?
They make that joke before.
They
You know they found you unconscious today. You know a concussion can kill you. You know broken ribs can kill you.
Like I said.
You know getting hit in the head can kill you.
Modern medicine.
What, you dead?
I'm not.
What's that gonna do?
I'm not.
What's modern medicine gonna do? You die. What am I gonna do? If you die.
What do you mean? What are you gonna do?
Don't make me lose you, bruv.
What a loss.
Be the biggest loss that I would ever have to contend with.
It's not gonna happen, so you don't have to worry about it.
You don't know anything. You know, you're so smart, but you're so stupid at the same time.
That's for sure. Sometimes it's hard to not believe them when they say those things.
Words are words, bruv. You're surrounded by idiots that have a silver spoon in their mouth, talking around it. They don't know anything. They've never been through anything.
I don't want your help. I don't need it. I'm not lesser. I'm not different.
You say these things like I think you are.
I can handle it myself.
You haven't been.
I understand. It's fine. It happened. I'm sorry I didn't tell you what was going on. I was worried that I would regret it. Just keep your nose out of trouble. I'll try to keep mine out as well. And when I want your help, I'll ask for it.
You never want it.
You never know. Maybe I'll need it sometime. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to take a nap.
Right.
He's just gonna put his arms kind of behind his head and shut his eyes.
Vahrae is gonna kind of settle in more. I feel like he stays awake probably to hear the door.
Yeah. And as you stay awake to hear people,
go away.
You hear that. You hear Farniel chuckling softly next to you.
We're having a hot session here. You don't want to see a couple of people in the middle of the fornication, do you?
Did you just learn that word yesterday?
Oh, what? You don't think I have a good vocabulary?
And as you do that... Ooh, that wraps up another episode of that. What's gonna happen next, baby? Got a tunnel, baby. What's going on with Tabamil and Iffy and Thalen? Yes, baby.
I don't know. I mean, I do know, but they don't know, and I gotta tell them. Do you have to tell them?
Right. Well, we'll find out, won't we?
Can you everyone shut up?
Oh my gosh. I'm there too. See you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.